Hey there, connoisseurs. It's Rod with Pow Group. Welcome back on the Pursuit of Wealth, your home for MJ stocks, crypto assets, news, and interviews. Also home to the best MJ community and the channel that was created by a retail investor for retail investors. Today is Tuesday, October 29th. Hope you're well, as good as you can be. It was an absolute bloodbath to end the day. Had a ton of people ask me what in the hell happened with Trulieve. It saw a massive dip into the end of the day. I've got some reasons in my own mind, but let me know in the thoughts and your thoughts and opinions in the comment section. We'll continue the conversation there. Always love hearing from you. Not really seeing anything concrete, but just taking a look at the chart. There's been no major damage. Crypto has been bullish. So as we know, I've been saying for many months now that that's probably going to be the case when crypto, big tech, AI enters a bear market and finishes its blow off top in its bull market. We'll see MJ enter a new bull cycle and finish its bear market. Before we get to it, make sure to smash the like. It helps support me in the channel. If you're new, you can subscribe. Take the bell, you'll be notified on any future videos or when I go live. And as always, this is not financial advice. I am not a financial advisor, and you should never buy or sell anything based on anything that I say or write. You can follow us over on X as well, formerly Twitter. Handle for that is @GroupPow. Going to be using that as my platform of choice going forward. So this sparked some confusion, some worry. And as we know, the markets do not like confusion and they do not like uncertainty, right? So when we saw this Florida politics article, new poll shows Florida's recreational MJ measure floating right at 60% threshold to pass. Emerson College, I think it's pronounced. Polling puts the measure on edge with just 6% of voters undecided. A new poll shows support for recreational MJ amendment in Florida right at the 60% threshold to pass. So again, this isn't new information. We know it needs 60% to pass, and we know that leading into the elections, there's going to be all kinds of FUD and articles saying this way, that way, left, right, center. No one really knows, right? It's a toss up at this point. But for the most part, we've been trending right around the mid 60 percentile mark, which I've been saying for many, many months now that I think they're going to pass, and it's probably going to come in at the mid 60%. There was even some online polls that were showing 80% that were in favor of it. So, I'm not too worried about it. This came out directly from Forbes. This was dated the October 21st, a couple of days before. There's been multiple Forbes articles come out. There's been multiple different sources saying that, it's somewhere around the mid 60 percentile. And as we know with young voters, what do they typically do? They leave everything to the last minute, right? They're procrastinators. So more than likely, we're going to have a bunch of young people go out to the polls on, in the 11th hour, and they're probably going to vote in favor of, if I had to guess. And we're probably going to see even more MJ pumping for the rest of the week and into next week as we see those numbers get a little bit more solidified. But overall, I think it's going to pass. I don't think we have anything to worry about. There was also this MJ Biz Daily article here dated from today. Florida lawmakers could add MJ permits if adult use ballot initiative passes. So I'm not sure if that's something that may have rattled the sector, and specifically Trulieve, as Trulieve was down. Look at that waterfall. It was down almost 12% there at the close. So we also know that, Ron DeSantis is not very popular. He's been fighting against the initiative. And there was an article here from Politico, and this was dated October 26th. So Ron DeSantis isn't on the ballot this year, but his political future might be. So yeah, I think, going against one of the, former presidents and who's currently running for president, he's even in support of it. So I can't see why. It's just total BS in my opinion. I think it's just doing the bidding for the lobbyists and the incumbents, right? The big pharma, alcohol, tobacco, the hemp industry. Obviously he's getting money from these donors, right? And I think he's just trying to slow the industry down as much as possible, and then talking at both sides of his mouth. And for the hemp market, like, it doesn't even vetoes the hemp bill. It doesn't make any sense. They're both the same plant, and it's just a matter of time before we get these people that are just toxic and anti-common sense, I guess, out of there. And same thing, speaking of which, same thing with Mitch McConnell. He's going to be ending his tenure in the top U.S. Senate as top U.S. Senate Republican. And this isn't new information, but you have to remember that at the end of the year, and then we'll see who comes in. But at the end of the day, we're going to see more progressive, right? We're going to see more younger people come in, younger demographic. They're going to be more progressive. They're going to be more pro MJ. And you have to remember too that Bitcoin came within $200 of its all-time high today. So we're very, very close to all-time highs at the moment. We're just hovering there. We could see it really any time now. And if you take a look at the charts today, look at the sea of red here on MJ and look at the sea of green here on crypto. So again, it's never been more clear to me that, MJ's been in a 4-year bear market and crypto's been in a 4-year bull market. Same thing with big tech, AI, EVs. So once big tech, crypto, AI, EVs enter a bear market and finish their bull cycle, that's when I think MJ's going to start its bull cycle and end its bear cycle. So it really is that simple. And again, today is another example of that where, MJ, over the last week or so, MJ was trending higher and big tech and crypto was trending lower. And then today we had big moves on Bitcoin and the crypto space and big moves down on MJ. So it's literally the inverse correlation. Same thing happened in 2018 when crypto topped out. MJ went on its biggest bull run ever. There was, all-time highs popping off everywhere. It was basically throw a dart and you win. But massive waterfall to end the day there on TCNNF on the OTC. So all figures will be mentioned in USD for the sake of this video. But yeah, pretty ugly candle there on the daily time frame. We didn't really have any daily support though. On this move, we ran about 22%. We had no real daily support. So we had a tiny level there at 1296, but it wasn't much of a higher low. So once we lost that, we had no support all the way down to 1136. So again, you need to start sharpening your skills with regards to charts and technical analysis. The first thing that you would see in this chart right here is, oh my God, we haven't formed a higher low really in how many days? It was about 2 weeks, so 12 trading days. So each candle had the low was higher than the previous daily candle. And, maybe by like a penny or two, we saw a little bit of a dip, but wasn't much of a higher low, right? So when you don't have any support like that and 12 days in a row where you have a big move and no support, well, you need to expect a big move down if, we start to consolidate, because in this instance we did. And from that low there, we had about 12% of downside, and here we are down 12%. So if we zoom out to the weekly time frame, is this healthy? It's actually extremely healthy. So we're still in a weekly uptrend. We have our low, high, higher low, and higher high, another higher low and higher high. And if you look at where we ended the day today and the low of this weekly candle, we hit 1137. Our previous support was 1136, and we're right there on the weekly EMA 12. So right now, we're still maintaining the weekly uptrend. We're still in a weekly uptrend. We held support there at 1136. So far, it's a double bottom at 1137, and that maintained the weekly uptrend, like I said, and it's still a weekly bull flag. So let's say we come down and we lose that support there at 1136. That's going to be concerning for sure. But overall, as long as we hold 1082, that weekly bull flag is still intact. So if we lose 1082, then it's negated. We're probably going to be dropping down to around low 1030s. But yeah, if we hold 1082, it's still a potential weekly bull flag in this scenario. And we actually did confirm it with the low, high, higher low, and higher high. And we came within about 15% of that target, and the target's sitting just under $16 at $15.91. So if we take a look at TCNNF here on the weekly time frame, we did have a stochastic bear cross, so a little bit of a concern there. MACD set for a potential bear cross here as well, and we're testing the 10-week moving average, and we do have the 50 weekly there at 972. In terms of the daily time frame, we are back testing the 50-day moving average. We haven't even lost it yet, so no major red flags whatsoever. And then we do have the 200-day and the 100-day moving average at 1048 and 1046 respectively. So it's entirely possible that, we come back down and see one more leg down. But again, 1082, that's what I'm going to be looking at. If we lose that, then we're probably going back into the 1030s from there. But overall, I don't think this is a huge... I don't think this is a bad thing, to be honest, because it could be way worse. And like I said, we're holding weekly support at the moment. But the good thing about this is when we pull back leading into the vote, right, on November 5th, so a week from today, we're going to find out whether or not this passes or not. And the more we run into that, the more it could end up becoming a sell the news event. Whereas if we pull back like we are now and we get a nice weekly higher low, right now from the high of last week to the low this week, we're down about 17%, a little over. So the fact that we've pulled back 17% and saw a weekly consolidation, we're right at weekly support. This could be a nice entry here leading into that vote, because this could end up being a great reaction if it ends up passing. Then we could see massive upside, and it might not just be, a day or two after the election where, we see some momentum and then sell the news event, right? This could end up being a nice sustained rally based on how much we pulled back. But if, we don't see it pass, then we're obviously going to be back down, probably down around the $8 to $7 area. But personally, I don't think it's the end of the world. We have rescheduling coming up, the hearing on December 2nd. That's just around the corner. And then both presidential candidates are pro MJ. I've never been more confident. I don't care who wins, to be honest with you, in terms of parties. I'm from Canada, so I could care less about politics, and I try not to get political in this channel. I just want what's best for MJ. And the great thing about everything right now is that it doesn't really matter by the looks of it who wins. So we did avoid the death cross there on the daily moving averages. So we'll see if we can still fend that off. It's possible that we could potentially see the 50 come down through the 200. But again, that would be only if we lose that support there at 1082, in my opinion. So like I said, I think that there's some silver lining here. I think pulling back this much and forming nice support there on the weekly time frame leading into the elections is probably a good thing. And again, another reassuring sign that the fact that when crypto pulls back, MJ starts to see a move to the upside. And then whenever crypto goes up, MJ's been going down. So again, I think it really is that simple. Once crypto, which it's looking like that's going to be over the next couple of months, I call it 3 to 6 months max, crypto should top out, see alt season. After Bitcoin has a big move, alt season will go. After alt season, crypto will probably enter a multi-year bear market. And then MJ will enter a multi-year bull market. That's what I'm looking for as the most likely scenario. And my thesis, we'll continue to monitor it. But again, leading into this vote as well, we'll continue to see how the price action trends into the vote, right? So we'll be continuing to provide coverage on the space here very heavily over the next few days as we lead into one of the biggest moments in time for this whole industry and medicine of the future. So I'm excited. It's going to be a fun week ahead. Obviously, there's going to be a lot of commotion and a lot of, back and forth. It's going to be a lot of FUD. There's going to be a lot of fear. There's going to be a lot of greed as well. But at the end of the day, I think, it doesn't really matter who wins. And I do think that Florida is going to pass adult use, and we're going to get rescheduling in 2025 and then probably banking, uplisting, you name it. So tons of catalysts to look forward to. I'm here for it, but grateful to be on the journey with each and every one of you. It's Rod with the Power Group. Thanks again for joining us in the pursuit of wealth. Let me know your thoughts and opinions on this in the comments section below, and we'll continue the conversation there. All right, see you on the next one. Have a good night.